Japan, an island nation with over 10,000 years of history, shaped by countless generations and pivotal moments. In this video, we'll take you on a 10-minute journey through Japan's rich and complex history, from prehistoric times to the present day. Join us as we unravel the story of Japan, a tale of resilience, culture, and transformation. The story begins over 30,000 years ago during the Paleolithic era. Early humans lived as hunter-gatherers, using stone tools to hunt animals and collect plants. They left behind traces of their existence in the form of primitive tools and cave dwellings. Around 14,000 years ago, the Jomon period began. What makes this era fascinating is the development of pottery, among the oldest in the world. Jomon pottery was not merely functional, but beautifully decorated, showcasing the artistic creativity of these ancient people. The arrival of the Yayoi period, approximately 2,400 years ago, marked a revolution. Rice cultivation, likely introduced from the Asian mainland, changed everything. It allowed for surplus food, population growth, and the formation of social hierarchies. Villages became organized communities, and disputes over resources like water gave rise to early forms of governance. By the Kofun period, powerful clans emerged, and their leaders built monumental tombs known as Kofun. These burial mounds, some over 400 meters long, were symbols of political power and the consolidation of the Yamato state, a precursor to the unified Japan we know today. The Nara period, beginning in the 8th century, was a time of centralization and cultural development. Japan established its first permanent capital, Heijō-kyo, now Nara. This era saw the codification of laws, the spread of Buddhism, and the creation of a centralized government modeled after China's Tang dynasty. However, epidemics like smallpox significantly reduced the population, weakening the central government's control and destabilizing the region. Buddhism played a key role in state affairs. The construction of Todaiji, with its massive Great Buddha, symbolized the fusion of religion and politics, aiming to unify the nation under a shared spiritual framework. In the late 8th century, the capital moved to Heian-kyo, modern Kyoto. This move was an effort to curb Buddhist interference and restore political stability. The Heian period is renowned for its refined court culture. Murasaki Shikibu's The Tale of Genji offers a glimpse into the romances and lifestyles of the aristocracy. Yet internal court power struggles and the neglect of provincial governance gradually weakened the central government's authority. In the countryside, rising crime and local conflicts paved the way for samurai. Initially tasked with protecting landowners, these warriors gradually influenced local politics. Rivalry between the Minamoto, Genji, and Taira Heike clans intensified, allowing the Taira to dominate the latter Heian period. The epic Heike Monogatari recounts the rise and fall of this era. Though the Taira, famously known for the saying, "If you are not a Heike, you are not a person," held power for a time, they were ultimately defeated by the Minamoto at the Battle of Dan-no-ura. This dramatic clash opened the path for the establishment of the Kamakura shogunate. After the Taira's downfall, Minamoto no Yoritomo founded a military government in Kamakura, deliberately distant from Kyoto to avoid political turmoil. The rise of the Kamakura shogunate marked a major turning point in Japanese politics, shifting power to the samurai class from the imperial court. In the 13th century, the Kamakura shogunate faced a formidable challenge: the Mongol invasions of 1274 and 1281. Both times, powerful typhoons, often called the kamikaze or divine wind, helped repel the invaders, bolstering the samurai's reputation. However, the financial strain of war eroded the shogunate's ability to govern. As the Kamakura government declined, the Ashikaga clan established the Muromachi shogunate. Although the Muromachi period brought economic and cultural growth, weakened central authority led to the Sengoku period, an era of warring states. In this chaos, Oda Nobunaga rose to power, seeking to unify Japan. Nobunaga employed groundbreaking military and political tactics to reshape the country, and by 1582, he was on the verge of achieving nationwide unity. However, that same year, he was betrayed by one of his capable retainers, Akechi Mitsuhide, and met his end at Honnoji Temple. This event shocked the nation and dramatically altered the balance of power. Nobunaga's successor, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, achieved national unification. The mighty Osaka castle he built symbolized his power. He also introduced policies that distinguished farmers from warriors, aiming to create a stable society. However, after his death, a power vacuum emerged. Tokugawa Ieyasu capitalized on this turmoil, defeating his rivals at the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600. In 1603, Ieyasu established the Edo shogunate, ushering in the Edo period, a 250-year era of peace and stability. During the Edo period, Japan limited foreign contact under the policy of sakoku. This isolation was driven by concerns over the growing number of Christians, whom the shogunate feared might rebel, potentially inviting Spanish intervention. There were also issues like the trafficking of Japanese people by foreigners. However, trade was still allowed under strict conditions. The Dutch, who promised not to spread Christianity and focused solely on commerce, were permitted to trade at Nagasaki's Dejima port. Japan also maintained exchanges with China and Korea. The Edo shogunate fostered significant domestic economic and cultural growth. The merchant class thrived, and the arts, such as ukiyo-e prints and kabuki theater, flourished. Edo, modern-day Tokyo, became a vibrant cultural hub, offering entertainment to many. Nevertheless, the late Edo period was marked by economic stagnation, famines, earthquakes, and growing unrest among the lower classes. The shogunate's governance gradually weakened. In 1853, American Commodore Perry arrived in Uraga with his black ships, forcing Japan to open its borders. This event shattered Japan's isolationist policy, compelling the shogunate to sign unequal treaties with foreign powers. Public discontent soared as the regime's authority waned. By 1868, forces from the Satsuma and Choshu domains rallied around Emperor Meiji, overthrowing the shogunate and establishing a new government. Known as the Meiji Restoration, this revolution abolished the feudal system, stripping samurai of their former role. Japan then embarked on building a modern army, bureaucracy, and ultimately a modern nation-state. Following the Meiji Restoration, Japan underwent rapid modernization, constructing railways, factories, and modern schools. Victories in the Sino-Japanese War from 1894 to 1895 and the Russo-Japanese War from 1904 to 1905 elevated Japan's international standing, showcasing its growing industrial and military might. The Taisho era introduced a more liberal atmosphere, fueling flourishing urban culture. Still, challenges persisted on the global stage. At the 1919 Paris Peace Conference, Japan's proposal for a racial equality clause was rejected by the Western powers, sparking domestic disappointment and deepening mistrust of the international community. Subsequently, resource shortages and international isolation led Japan to pursue territorial expansion, which ultimately propelled the country toward war in the 1930s. During World War II, Japan fought across Asia, but in 1945, following the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan surrendered. Under occupation, the nation underwent profound changes. In the post-war period, Japan, under American supervision, enacted a new constitution. Coming into effect in 1947, it emphasized pacifism and democracy, laying the groundwork for Japan's modern governance. From the 1950s through the 1960s, Japan's economy rebounded with astonishing speed. The inauguration of the bullet train and the Tokyo Olympic Games in 1964 symbolized this economic miracle. Driven by export industries, Japan soon emerged as the world's second-largest economy. Today, Japan faces new challenges, such as an aging population and economic stagnation, but it also pushes forward in technological innovation and cultural preservation. From the masterful craftsmanship to cutting-edge tech scenes, Japan continues to merge tradition and modernity. Japan's story is one of persistence and transformation. By understanding its past, we gain deeper insight into the present and perhaps a clearer vision of the future. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories from around the world.